got one that can see.
Logic before authority.
The following is a recorded conversation between myself, Daniel Alexander Cannon, and a gentleman in Tennessee that is finding a self-organizing black goo that is glowing in a pool. So let's take a look at that and listen to the conversation. But first, you might want to see this.
인연 어디 갔어? 어? 어디 갔냐고? 대답해! 대답해! Hey, you!
Look, the computer. It's moving.
Hey. Where is she?
Life was given to us 1 billion years ago. Now you know what to do with it.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You got some weird photos there, my brother.
And it goes even more so. I just sent those too so you would get an idea. I do boots on the ground spiritual warfare. In fact, I was called to your state back when the hurricane hit. I was at Columbia. I did about 65 places in Columbia and then another 50-something in Lexington.
What do you mean? What are you clearing demonic spirits and stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I go and lay anointed hands on it. I let the Holy Spirit show me what needs to be found. I find what's in there. Break any of the oaths and pledges and all of that, present that to the court of heaven, and then according to Isaiah 58, I lose the people who have been bound.
Wow, that sounds like amazing work, my brother. So,
well, it's just, he has been forgiven much,
Yep.
So, in this particular instance, I don't mean to take up your time, but in this particular instance, I've been working with a couple of ladies over in Winchester, which is about 50 miles from where I'm at. I'm in Manchester. But they called me about the swimming pool. And the swimming pool is an above ground pool. It's probably got a diameter of about 15, 20 feet.
Okay.
And the entire bottom of that pool is covered with that stuff that you see.
Okay.
So I went over to take a look and see what it is that Adam stirred up. They had cleaned that pool a week before.
Okay.
This all, we had some rains come through. This all washed down out of the cloud.
Okay.
Now, what you're discussing as far as vibrations go, the weird part is the whole bottom surface of that is littered with those things, and they're all moving to that picture I showed you.
They're moving towards it and,
Yeah, they're
and gathering
circular
together.
pattern all the way around.
They're moving in a circular pattern while moving in towards the
Yes,
center.
sir. All the whole swimming pool.
Okay.
So I had them turn the pump off so I could get a better look at it. The pool is probably about 5 feet deep.
Right.
But so the top of the water isn't trouble, I get a better look. That's when I noticed that everything from every size, even those that were smaller than a dime, were all glowing.
Glowing. Like it looks like in the picture. You can see that with your eye, naked eye.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And it doesn't, no matter which way you go, because at first I thought it was just prisming of the water, the sunlight through the water, but it wouldn't be right along the edge, and you would have the prism all across the top of it as well. And then I changed locations looking at the same item, and the colors did not change. If you notice on one side of that picture, it's at the bottom of the pool. And that picture of that stuff is about, half again the size of a basketball.
Okay.
It's blue going to purple on one side and consistent with that side. Then you look at the outer side of it, and it's going red to yellow.
Okay. The color,
But if you
the
change
actual,
the colors,
the glowing color, the glowing color itself. What color is it producing? What color is the glowing?
on one side, if you take a look and you expand that picture up, you will see on one side it will be blue going to purple.
Okay.
Then you look at the other side, and it'll be red going to yellow.
Okay. Okay. Those are typically in nature. Those colors are colors that say danger.
Right. And so when you take a look at this in that whole pool, the pool is littered all across the bottom. There's not probably...
And they cleaned it a week ago. Was this stuff in there before when they cleaned it, or only?
Yes. Now, to get to that, they had trouble getting that pool clean. The pool stayed green, and they take it into the chemical company, and they check it, and they say, I don't know why it's green. It's perfectly balanced.
Okay.
Now, this is also going on, as a side note, in your state with David Beverly. You're aware of Jesus Freak?
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with him.
I've been talking to him. He has the same kind of issues. He didn't notice it glowing or not, but he's had trouble getting it off. Because once it's set, you can't scrape it up.
So once it gets...
is that I'm dealing with bioenhanced graphene oxide.
Okay. Did you gather a sample by chance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good.
I talked to Celeste Solom. I don't know if you know her.
Say your name again?
And Celeste Solom.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I'm familiar with her.
She caused them to get sending them to just any lab because they will not send you the results back. They send it to the Department of Homeland Security.
And she said...
I'm trying to get a hold of Dane Wigington because he has his own lab. And I've got both dry samples and frozen samples I can send to.
Whatever you do, don't lose a portion of the sample.
hang on to something and don't send everything.
I've got to figure a way. They went in. Let me get to the rest of the story. I'm sorry. I'm getting talkative, and I don't mean to take up your time.
No, this is important. This is important, or I wouldn't be speaking with you.
This
I feel like
situation,
this.
they went in to clean the pool. The kids, pool cleaned up except for that residue at the bottom, and they just thought it was dirt.
Right.
So
The dirt don't
the
glow.
mom gets in the pool and starts cleaning it. The kids are swimming in it, right? She gets out, and her legs got aching so bad, and she had a headache that she had to sit down for 2 hours before it cleared. The 11-year-old boy had a headache and nausea, and the 10-year-old girl passed out.
Oh my.
So this is not something that that's why I'm trying to get to see how widespread, because when they're spraying, they're not spraying just one area, they're spraying thousands of miles.
Oh yeah.
And if it's hitting David Beverly's pool, and he's in Daytona Beach, then how widespread
What state is what city and state is this pool in?
Tennessee.
Okay.
It's in Winchester, Tennessee.
So we're talking the entire East Coast, maybe.
Probably. And if you take a look at it, the stuff that's in there is also going to be in the natural water supplies. They're going to be on the plant.
It's going to be in the soil.
Don't call me from Tennessee. I'm originally from Texas. God called me here to do spiritual warfare. So I live in a little trailer that only 6.5 work. But at the trailer park where I'm sitting, I have a deck. We're in August, and my deck has dead leaves all over it like it was fall.
Right.
So we're having a definite situation occur.
Well, what we have to do is, if I take these images and if we tell this story and put a video up and asking people to confirm if this is happening in pools, and if they're seeing these things, anything like this in other places, and where. And if it's widespread, there'll be people that have noticed. They might not know what to think. They might not know what it is. They might not know what to think. They might not even pay that close of attention. They may think it's just dirty pool or something wrong with the water. But if it's widespread, if we go out with these images and any others that you have, and maybe you speak well, so we could do a video and talk about it, or I can just do it by myself. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, I've never done videos or anything like that. Mine has been boots on the ground.
Well, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to.
I'm sorry.
I was saying you don't have to have your face showing or anything. I don't show mine a lot of times when it comes to my Logic Before Authority channel,
Well, that would be nice. Like I said, I've cleared Tennessee from Chattanooga to Nashville.
Okay.
And from West Tennessee River to just east of Sparta.
Okay. Matter of fact, this phone call right now, my cell phone is actually recording this phone call, I think. I'll have to double check. But I think it might be recording it. If it is, we could actually use this conversation as the recording, as the audio for the video.
That will help awaken our brothers and sisters to the overall attack of the enemy is greatly, greatly appreciated, my brother.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what I do.
The vibration thing that you were talking about would be only because that piece that I sent you from the swimming pool. That's not dead center. This pool is not concave. It's flat bottom.
Right. Right. A typical
and if
above ground.
you go out the back door, up 6 steps to the pool, it is to your right about 4 feet out. So there's not a central locale or reason for that mass gathering where it's at. But all of it is circular around it.
And the things are moving, you're saying, and it's not water current moving the things around?
Yeah, you can sit and watch it and you won't see anything move. But if you take a look at the picture I sent you, about 4 inches around it, you don't see much of anything. It's all come into that gathering.
Okay.
And when you look at the others that are in there, there's this, it stains the pool where it has moved.
Okay. Do you have access by chance to a microscope or anything like that?
No, sir. I work on my post security, which is $1,500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever I have left over goes into gas money, and I go take on what I got to take on.
Right.
And Tennessee is one tough state.
Right. Okay.
I've dealt with things here I've never dealt with, and I usually teach spiritual warfare. I wasn't prepared for this.
I bet you it's getting intense.
Oh, I have fought entities, witches. I have, it gets buried because the blood in this state is so drenched. And then we have a CERN laboratory here called Oak Ridge National Lab.
Oh yeah, yep.
That is part of the CERN project.
Right. They've got a collider there, I think.
Yes, sir. They sure do. I took the lady, so they were going to show me this place and what I saw there spiritually, and it took them about 2.5 hours to get normal again. Just pulling up into the driveway, we didn't even go up to, because there were kids in the car, and they're like open channels, and I stopped them right there, and I'll go at it by myself.
Right.
Rather than take any chances of them getting hurt.
Right.
Yeah, I've got 4 little groups of witches right here where I live trying to do their thing. It gets interesting.
Right.
And now since CERN, now we have cryptids running around. We've got all kinds of stuff.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was saying something to somebody sitting beside me. I was listening to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What'd you say about the cryptids?
Well, since Oak Ridge cranked up, and remember the last thing that Oak Ridge printed was that they were going to open a portal. Now all of a sudden we have strange cryptids, like what they call the dog man that looks more like a werewolf.
Right.
It's primarily located in the Smoky Hill around to the Cherokee, and then it is occurring over in the land between lakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty as educated as you can be about cryptids. I'm fairly educated. I've had some Sabe experiences. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Sabe, many names that people have called them. I've had an experience with. Well, let's just say I've had several experiences with them where they've come up and they would slap the side of the house at nighttime. And then one time I was sitting on the porch and they slapped the side of the house right beside me and I couldn't even see it. And then at 3 a.m. every morning, about 3 a.m. you'll hear them in the woods beating on stuff. And then one night I came home and it was midnight and I was walking up the front steps and this unbelievable bone-shattering scream, long howl came out of the woods, and it did it 3 times, and I about crapped my drawers. I mean, I ain't never in my life heard anything like that before. But I already knew that they were there because I can sense things and tell better than the average person what's going on. I knew I was dealing with the woods people, but that confirmed it. And then I went online looking for sounds of them that sounded like that and found several that was exactly the same. And it's like, wow, you know. So yeah, I'm a little bit versed in the fact that there's these cryptids that are sometimes multi-dimensional and things, all kind of crazy stuff. All supernatural stuff.
I was to go over to the two ladies' house. One of them is celebrating a birthday. And I needed to pray over the pool and over them and repent to the earth and to the water. I had some work I needed to do over there. On the way over there, Brother Daniel, I passed out for a second behind the wheel.
Wow.
Usually when something is around me, I'll sense it. But there was no warning, and I just for, it wasn't even a whole second, but enough that it startled me, because I don't do that.
Right.
And when I got to their house, I got so drained that I didn't even get to stay for the party. I had to come back home.
Yeah, I have.
And we've got several things. I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, I understand pretty well what you're talking about the draining of the energy and things like that. I do.
Yes, sir.
I do hands up. I don't tell people this, and I don't never talk about it on my channel, but God works through me sometimes where I can do hands-on healing, and it'll because I have to put so much. What I do is part of the process I do is I have the ability to dump adrenaline into my bloodstream while I'm praying, and it just sends me into a state of emotional heightness, I guess you'd say, and I'm transferring through my hands. I don't even have to touch the person, and they can feel it, you know, that I transfer through my hands. I push the energy out through my hands into them, and I try to focus on love and healing and all these kind of thoughts and see it in my mind the problem being corrected. And why I was chosen to be able to do that kind of thing, I don't know, but
because you were chosen to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's about the best answer. Yep, exactly. But yeah, I've done it before where I literally have to go lay down and have to go to sleep for a little while to recover.
When I first got to Tennessee, Brother Daniel, I'd go one or two, maybe three places and be totally wiped out. I'd have to have somebody drive for me.
Right.
But as I've exercised that muscle, it's gotten stronger. My back muscle, my shield has gotten stronger. Like I said, I was in Columbia when the hurricane hit there. I was actually at the state capitol, which was hilarious, but it
which hurricane? Which hurricane you remember?
The last one that came through there, what was that, a year ago?
Okay, the last one, like a year or two ago. Okay. Yeah. It wasn't
I had a lady there who was so being terrorized by witches that she called up crying, and when a brother or sister of Christ calls up and needs help, if there's any way I can get there, I want to go.
Right.
So I came to, and I spent 4 days in your area. I took care of Lexington. I took care of Columbia. And that included all the witch stores in Columbia, which there were, 13, as I remember?
I don't know, but I imagine there's quite a few. Some of these females, I don't know why, but they love their witchcraft.
Oh, but there's as many men as there are women.
Oh, is there?
Oh, Lord, yes.
Okay.
When I went to one particular there, now one I'm from, like I said, from Texas, from West Texas, a town called San Angelo. I warned the witches, and they didn't heed. So I went back, and they were prepared when I went back. And there were as many men in there, and they had that ceramic bowl and ringing and dancing and cursing and going on. It's like, really?
They had their ritual in full swing.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Brother Daniel, I live by three things. I rule three things. There's no name above my king's name.
That's right.
There's no word above his word. There's no power above his power. And you're going to go sit up and start trying to curse me standing there when I have the word of God to counter it with? Of course, I don't know if I won that battle. They did move out of that building, but then the Democratic National Headquarters moved in. So I don't know if they won ground or lost that.
That sounds about right.
But anyway,
let's circle.
This situation is, I'm quiet, please. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, let's circle back around to this main part of this, what we're talking about. I enjoy talking about all kinds of things, but you know, this stuff. You said you think it is what?
Bioenhanced graphene oxide.
Okay. Meaning it's graphene oxide that's got a bio side to it, meaning it's partially like alive.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The stuff is giving off an energy. At first I thought, well, maybe this is chemical actions, from the chemicals they put in the water with the city to the chemicals in the pool reacting with the substance itself.
Right.
But no matter what, it hasn't lost any energy, which means it is manufacturing its own.
Okay. Okay.
Does that sound logical?
It very much can be, especially if it is, I've learned how there's a lot of, see, in our 3D world, like me and you and dogs and cats and animals, we need to consume food in order to produce energy.
Right.
But there are things, when you start dealing with things that are like, I'll just use the words higher dimensional, that are somehow been engineered so they're higher dimensional, they may or may not need energy in the way that we consume energy in our 3D world. You know, they can.
We are carbon-based units.
Right.
There are things that have been created that have combined these things. This is all, in my opinion, fallen technology.
Now, what would be the purpose?
With this stuff and the fact that the 10-year-old passed out means that this is being able to be absorbed through the skin.
Right. What do you think the purpose of this stuff is? Is it just to make people sick, kill people? What is the purpose? Is there a purpose, you think, for this stuff? Obviously there is, but.
It is. Well, we already know, if we look into this shot that everybody had with mRNA technology, that is supposed to start changing the very structure to you. You know, they're still trying to get to the 3-stranded DNA sequence.
Right, triple helix.
All those that's why they went through all this blood test to find out how many were going to have some of that blood in their system already and to kill off everyone else.
Right.
If you look at Agenda 21 says the United States is supposed to be down to a population of 55 million. That's a lot of folks, my brother.
That is a lot of folks.
We're at 329 at last take, so
there was another
everybody off.
There was another website that was a military-based website that predicted, like almost a decade ago, they predicted these population changes, and it's happening. People are dropping like flies.
Well, once they adopted Agenda 2030, which is a world population control mechanism to focus it toward the Antichrist, okay, but when they told the whole world to go home, and my brother, when the whole world did it,
oh God,
that advanced that.
Oh yeah.
Then when they told the churches to close their door, they convinced the world that their pandemic was mightier than our God.
Yep.
So that advances even further. Where it's at, my thinking is somewhere toward the end of 2024 into 2025. But that's just my thinking. And
You mean an event? Because 2025 is the
I'm
year.
talking about the actual presentation of the Antichrist.
Okay.
I know that we have 3.5 years. The Bible is very explicit about that, both with the, mainly I look at the two witnesses that have to be on the earth for 3.5 years.
Uh-huh.
But at the point I'm looking at and the way things are picking up, especially the way the entire world is starting to rebel against their leaders.
Right. And they seem to be leading.
Out of chaos comes order.
That's right. And they want the people to be rebelling against the leaders. They're driving it to happen.
Oh, of course they are.
But they don't, most people can't see that, though.
The problem, Brother Daniel, is that they can't kill us.
Right.
Once you have the mark of the Lord, according to Revelations, they can't kill us. So they got to get us to do it.
That's right.
Those who, all of mankind has dominion, whether they understand that or not. Dominion was given to man.
Right.
They're trying to use that dominion to destroy us because they cannot.
Right. Right.
If that makes any kind of sense.
It makes absolute sense. I know exactly what you're saying. And I agree that that's the case because
when I look at this stuff, see, we had an event about a month ago at that same swimming pool. But the ladies called me over, but I'm not a scientist, Brother Daniel.
Right.
I'm a retired dry cleaner, for crying out loud.
Uh-huh.
But I went over to see, and what they had was in the basket, that kind of filter thing next to the pump, was this mucus-like substance that was clear to cloudy, a little bit, whitey cloudy.
Okay.
Well, I took a sample, but I had them take a sample, but they didn't put it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
But based on that, when I got a hold of Celeste, she said I could black cloud.
Yeah.
And if it was hydrogel, then it would give that electric blue or electric orange color.
Right.
Yellowish color.
Right.
Well, I went around the area and took 12 samples across the area, and I didn't get the kind of results he was talking about. So I figured I had missed the event. And then all this stuff occurred day before yesterday. Just when she called me and said, Dan, you need to come see this pool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, I've seen swimming pool. What you got? And she started telling me, so I went and I took a look. And the pictures I was sending you were taken about 6 o'clock in the evening, day before yesterday.
Okay. Do you have any more photos?
And, oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got quite a bit. In fact, one I will go ahead and send you that's interesting. It looks like a parasite.
I think that's what these. I think that has that word right there. You just hit the nail on the head. I think this stuff very well may be parasitic in nature, in the way that
That's exactly what I'm getting at. That's why I called it bioenhanced.
Yep.
Is that now it will become like a parasite.
Which is why the girl passed out and people getting sick. Cause as soon as it touches you, it goes into the skin and becomes parasitic.
The odd part is that we started looking around and say, okay, what kind of parasite? You know what comes closest to matching it?
What?
Ebola.
Ebola.
I'll send you the 2 pictures.
You mean from the look of it, or?
And one is what we found in the bottom of that pool.
You mean from the look of it, it matches it, or its behavior, or what?
It's look, because this is just a single cell picture, and you just take a look. It doesn't match it exactly, but it's close enough. You would think, okay, they're using that kind of, or that portion of it in its parasitic movement to start cell destruction.
Right. What's the deal with the hood of the car?
That car sits. There's two of them, and one of the ladies, she came down blind, and it took me, oh Lord, I threw everything at it but the kitchen sink until I figured out what the problem was. The Holy Spirit brought it to me. Having done all else bad, right? It was the smart meter. And her bedroom, the smart meter is right on the other side of the wall.
Oh no. Yeah.
So we got some Kevlar blankets. I think we got like 20 for $16. And we lined that wall. And her vision came back.
Wow.
Now it faded again.
Mm.
But it's starting to return. The thing is, that white car is hers. Her roommate, these are not lesbians, they're just two women who are roommates. They've been close friends and all of that. She has two children. The other one is, she does photography and that kind of thing, and so she's always on the move, but that white car just sits there.
Okay.
And at the last event, we had some heavy rains, and that stuff that's all over her car, you cannot wash off.
Why is there a line? Like it's clean in one area, and then there's a line, and then it's dirty.
She has a hood, a nose protector on that thing.
Okay.
And what you're seeing is it accumulated, but it's all over that car. If you take a closer look at the picture I sent you, take a look at her rear view mirrors, and you will start to see that it is all over that car.
Okay. So you're saying that the
drives all the time, there's nothing on it.
So you're saying that line that's there is because of a cover that she has normally on the hood?
Well, it's clear, but the line has become, that black stuff has kind of identified where that line is. Otherwise, you wouldn't notice.
Right.
It's kind of a clear acrylic or whatever it is, but it's there to protect primarily the hood.
Right.
But that car is covered front to back.
And
on the side,
and you think
I got a,
and you think that stuff is a collection of this stuff? Hang on just a second, my brother, okay?
Okay.
Hang on. Okay. All right, I'm back.
So, but then I look all around the house. Now, there's been a whole lot of anomalies around there. But anyway, not getting caught off and all that.
Yeah.
But that car there is covered. I looked around to where the rain gutters.
When you say it, when you say it's covered in it, are you saying that you think it's related to the stuff that's in the pool, right?
I know it is. The sample I got the last time when I missed the event, Brother Daniel, there was around the edges of her car about an inch deep around the hood part of it. It was just piled up there. That's why my dry sample that I have sitting right here next to me came from that.
Okay. And it was an inch deep around the cracks and stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, I mean, that's on the driveway, just under the front of the car. It was about let me get realistic, probably about a quarter to a half inch.
Okay.
I think would be a lot more accurate.
Okay. Can I get you to email any of the photos that you have that's related to this, and give you an email address to send it to?
Okay. Okay, if you'll text me that email
Yeah.
address, I'll send you some photos, including the one I'm talking about that kind of resembles Ebola,
Right. Yep.
and let you have it. Now, if you're going to make a video of it, if you get it out, you're welcome to edit any of this phone call you would like.
Okay.
But let's see what response comes back, and then maybe you and I can have a question and answer type thing.
Right. Yep.
Based on the responses of the people.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So if this audio is recording on my phone right now, which I think it is, but if it's not, we'll have to have another chat probably and discuss it a little bit again, you know. But
Sure can be.
yeah, if it is recording, then we want the people that are listening to this to pay attention, see what you're seeing related to this subject matter of this goo kind of stuff. And if you have pools or anything, especially pools that are not cleaned and taken care of every day by a pool service, so it'll probably be individuals' pools. If you're seeing anything like this and noticing it in the cleaners, you know, in the clean outs or anything like that, we want to know about that. We want to tell guys to, the skimmer, I think is what it's called. So, you know, we want to know, and what we want you to do is we want you to, well, one, go down in the comments and leave a comment, and then two, look down under the video description, and what you're going to find is a number where you can text me photos. It's just like normal texting. There's a number down there you can text me at, and you can attach photos to your text and stuff. And that's how this gentleman got a hold of me as well. So if y'all guys can do that. So anyways, going back to speaking directly with you again, because I'm not sure if this is actually recording positively or not, but either way, we'll get it done. When I get off the phone, I'm going to check for your photos here in a little bit. And then I'll communicate back with you via text at a minimum and let you know that I got them. And it'll give me a few minutes to kind of soak in what I'm looking at. And because I do know absolutely they're putting things in the sky. But if they're actually now spraying a biological parasite, that wouldn't be good.
I've got one that can see.
Logic Before Authority.